Hi, my name is Rebecca. I'm one of the admins at the Etsy Search Help Facebook group, and I'm also the shop owner to G and Drawn. And I've been asking you guys for some listings to critique. And when I did, you guys came up with some actual, really good questions that could merit their own screencast. So today I'm going to start us by doing just that. We're going to do our first ever week one Etsy SEO chat. And today's chat is going to be about using all 10 photos on Etsy. Question mark, because this is brand new and people have questions about it. So Alexandra Zanini from Zanini Handmade asks, now that Etsy gives us 10 images, is it mandatory? And is our ranking affected if we don't use all 10 photos? So, great questions. The short answer to this is no, but I highly recommend it as it is to your advantage to do so. What do I mean by that? Well, basically, your ranking is determined by your Etsy SEO. It's basically what's telling the search, pick me, put me up on page one, and it involves editing your titles and tags to have good keywords. Now, in contrast, your photos are what comes into play after your SEO is in place. Like once you're showing up in the searches, those photos get you clicks and sales. It tells the buyer, pick me and buy me. It gives them confidence to make that sale, and it entices them to make that click. Now, Etsy talks about it as well in their seller handbook. I pasted this here so you guys can pause and read it if you want. But basically, they're saying the same thing. They're saying that your photos improve your listing quality by getting you more clicks, more views, more purchases. Now, moving right along, how do you fill those 10 slots? Let's say you're convinced now you want to fill them, but you just don't know how. Well, Etsy came up with an article on the 7 essential types of product photos, and I'm just going to do a quick overview of them for you so you don't have to go through and read all these details. Basically, the 7 types are studio shot, which is your basic shot, like your plain shot of the product, maybe from different angles or showing the insides and the outsides, just a basic shot on a plain background. The lifestyle shot shows how it's used or how it's used in context. Like if you have a vase, you might do an empty shot for your studio shot, but a shot with flowers in it for the lifestyle shot. Or if you have an outdoor item, you might take that item outdoors to photograph it. A scale shot shows the size of an item, how big it is, things like that. So you might put it next to something like some kind of prop to show the size of it, or put it on a model. A detail shot demonstrates not just like the details of it, but also the quality of your product. So say you have a scarf, you might take an up-close photo of the fabric so people can see what that pattern is like. Or if you're selling artwork, you might take an up-close shot of the details of your work so they can really see how good of a product they're getting. A group shot is for showing off like multiples or add-ons. What comes in the package? If you're selling stationery and your first shot is showing the details of that stationery, or you're showing the page or something like that, you might do a group shot showing, okay, you actually get 5 pages and 5 envelopes, and you're going to put them all together for that shot. Packaging shots just show exactly that. How is your product packaged? It could be really important to you if you're doing all this extra work for the packaging and people aren't realizing that. Like if you're getting reviews saying, oh, your packaging was amazing, you show it because people appreciate that. Or if you're shipping something fragile, this could be really, really helpful in instilling confidence, making people think, okay, I'm going to receive my item in good shape. The process shot is showing how something's made. It's instilling that confidence that what someone's buying is a handmade piece of artwork, which I think most artisans want to show off. If you are making something handmade and not vintage or supplies, why not take advantage of that? So if you've done all that and you still have slots to fill, one thing to keep in mind is that buyers don't always read your description, especially on mobile, where they actually have to click an extra button just to view your description. So think about, what do buyers need to know in order to purchase? Like, what do they need to know in order to click that buy button? What might they be wondering or thinking about? I've come up with a list of ones that I have seen, and you can kind of pick and choose what you think you might need for your shop based on what buyers have been asking you. What messages do you get from customers before they actually place that order? And these are just a few. For custom order information, I'm going to show you some examples of each of these actually. Let's head over to another member of our group. This is Memory Thread Company. I just thought this was an excellent example. She does custom embroidered products. So what she needs to convey to her buyers is like, how do they actually send those images? How do they place an order, and how does that whole process work? So rather than waiting for the buyers to contact her and ask her this, because then they have to think about it, and there's no chance of an impulse buy, or just add to cart and you're done. She's trying to eliminate that step, which is just fantastic. She goes here and she actually shows them, click this button, then go here, attach your image here. She's giving them everything they need to know to check out, which is just fantastic. I also do this a little bit in my shop in a different way. I give people the information. Yes, we do accept custom orders, and here's how you measure your dog. These are questions that I'm sure she and I are both getting all the time from my buyers. We're just trying to prevent them from having to go that extra step to find out that information. Another example that I do a lot is you can use your images to show things like sizes and colors if you offer variations. Then the buyers don't have to guess what they're getting. They know exactly what they're choosing. And that, again, can eliminate that extra step of them hesitating. They can just make their purchase right away. Another thing I've seen people do is promotions or similar products. Some people they're new to Etsy. They don't know that you can just click here and get back to your shop. So this is another member of our group, one of the admins. She's selling this scarf, and it's a floral scarf. And then here she's like, if you like this, you might like this one because it's very similar. It's also floral, but this one's white instead of black. So that's another good use of the extra photos. Another thing I've seen people doing is try to instill trust in their shop by showing their reviews, what people are saying about their shop. So that's something else you can do. Another thing is following. Like if you want to show people how they can follow along with you and view your promotions or get in touch with you, be interactive with you via social media, you can put up a simple image like this or like this. It just shows where you are, where you're active in social media. So these are just a couple examples. I recommend, obviously, using as many of those 10 photos as you can, as long as they work to your advantage. I would fill in these first because it's really here all about the product. And here it's all about what happens next. What other information do you need to convey in addition to just photos of your product and showing what your product is? What else do they need to know in order to have the confidence to click on that button, order your item, and know they're going to get exactly what they're paying for? So my recommendation on this question is, use as much of the 10 photos as you can while still making sure that they are working for you and that they're helping you. I hope that's helpful. And if you have any thoughts or comments or other ideas as to what photos to share, feel free to drop a comment and let us know. Thanks, and we'll be back next week with another screencast. Bye.